Today we're going to talk about how to effectively get to 150 plus sales guys as fast as possible. My name is Michael Barive. I was able to actually do that in less than 2.5 years. We did it with zero money invested, and now we have a lot of different companies that are going like crazy from coast to coast like butter on toast. So if you want to build a sales team, this is what I have learned, the mistakes, the failures, the pain, the crying, the tears, the blood, all of that, the sweat. I have learned that there's 5 things that you need to learn and 5 skills that you need to master in order to get to that level. Number 1 is you have to learn how to figure it out yourself, right? So this is a story that I had. I was knocking on doors and I had to figure it out how to, I figured out how to sell and close customers. But by that time, based on my other videos that I talked about, working hard or working smart, I was telling myself I have to find a better way where I'm not trading my time and my money to get to the next level. So I had to learn to duplicate myself. The problem was this. I knew how to sell, but I did not know how to transfer that skill set into another human being, right? So that's the first thing. The first thing you have to learn is obviously how to close, how to sell yourself, be effective and efficient at that. And the second skill set is to learn how to transmute that information and transfer that information to another person so that you're duplicating exactly what you're doing. The question is, how do you do that, right? So number 2, the skill set of training. Training is an art. Training is not a one-day thing. For me, training was a daily thing, and I have learned that when you're training somebody, you want to bring them next to you and have them observe and have them watch for the first couple of days, first couple of hours, first couple of weeks even sometimes, depending on the product you're selling. But you want them to observe and watch someone that is doing it successfully. And in this situation, it's probably you, right? So you're training them by letting them watch, and you're also, after they're watching a little bit, you kind of throw them into the freaking wind and say, hey, try it yourself as well while you're watching them. The importance of this is super important because you don't want them to make mistakes while they're, you want them to make mistakes, but you don't want them to make mistakes that they keep remembering for a long time, because if they practice in a bad way, they're always going to have it done the wrong way. And it's going to be very hard to change that person's, habit, so to say, right? So you want to watch them and correct them as they're making those mistakes. They make a mistake at the door, they make a mistake at the phone, they hang up, they close the door, they say, hey, what did you do right? What did you do wrong, right? So now you're effectively communicating with them and helping them get better. Right? A lot of people, what I've seen, people make mistakes over the last decade is that they think training is just by someone watching you and they say, okay, great, now you can go do it yourself. They never give them a chance to actually do it and watch them and also critique them and let them know, hey, this is what I think you did good, this is what I think you did bad. But before you give them that explanation, you ask them first, hey, what did you do good? What did you do bad? They give you the information, then you explain to them as well, and you're having that conversation. It's a coach and mentee situation, right, where you're teaching them how to effectively think on what did they right and what did they wrong. Because remember, you're trying to make them do it effectively without you physically there. I want my sales guy, I want my employee to do things effectively when I am not there. And the only way to do that is to teach them that mindset, to understand the why behind why they're doing what they're doing, right? It's very important. So now that you train that individual, now they're on their own. Now you have to learn how to, you can't train everybody, right? Because you want to get to 150 plus guys as an example. How can you train 150 people by yourself? That's insane. So what I ended up doing was I was teaching these guys that were trained how to train other people. And we call that equipping, right? Equipping is giving people the tools necessary to duplicate the skill sets that they have, right? So not only are you the one that trains in the beginning, but now you're teaching these other guys who are becoming effective and closing and successful how to train other people. Now, by the way, just so you understand, this all sounds amazing and sounds easy in theory, but in reality, it's very challenging, very difficult, takes a lot of time, energy, and resources, which is why in the first 20 to 30 guys that you get will be probably the hardest you'll ever have to do. But after 30, it becomes like clockwork. It becomes easier. Like I remember we went from 0 to 30 guys in like a year and a half or 2 years. Like I think it was a year and a half. And then from a year and a half to like 2.5 years, it just exploded to over 150 people, right? Because the compound effect actually kicks in. So when you're training someone, which is step number 2, you're teaching them how to, you're getting to the next level, which is equipping. You're teaching them how to train other people. You're giving them the tools. You're giving them leadership mindset. You're giving them the understanding of how to actually do what you actually did for them when they first started out. And now you monitor them. And you bring them into leadership meetings. You go over it in the morning. You go over it at night. You go over phone calls. You're teaching these guys how to effectively become great leaders. Because remember, you will never build a team, a massive team, unless you learn how to build leaders. That is the one lesson I got from one of my mentors. Like, Michael, if you want to build your company to over 100 people, you have to learn how to build leaders. If you just build a bunch of followers, you'll be stuck at 20, 30 people. But if you build a bunch of followers with leaders, your business will explode. And that was my mission at that time. How do I build effective leaders, right? That's step number 3, which is equipping. How do I build leaders? Number 4, right? Now that you've taught them how to equip, they're training other people, your time is bought back. You have Joey building a team, you have Bobby building a team, you have Albert building a team, you have all these people building teams. Now your job is to develop everyone and develop them and help them become better leaders, right? Which is stage number 4. Developing leadership is a continuous thing. You will never get out of that stage unless you put someone effectively to do that, right? But that is the goal of you as a CEO, as a leader, to develop people, make them better. And this is not a one-week process, guys. This takes time. This takes a lot of effort. It never stops. It keeps going. And you always are investing in your people, investing in your people. You might say, Michael, why should I invest in them? Because, they might quit, they might leave. And I say, yes, they might. But the problem is this. What if they stay in your company and you don't invest in them? What if they stay in your business and you never put time into them? You never put energy into them? What happens to your business then, right? So the risk versus reward, it's better to invest in them. And yes, the potential they might leave one day versus having them stay there and you not invest any time and energy into them, right? And that's stage number 4. And number 5, right, if you want to get to that position, if you want to be in that situation, you have to learn how to actually maximize and run an office, run a business, because a lot of sales guys think they're so amazing at sales and they're amazing at closing. And they think that because they have the sales skills, because they have the closing skills, because their mindset thinks they can fucking do it all, they think they can train, equip, develop, and run a business. And I'll tell you one thing, it is a completely different skill set. But if you have those 5 skill sets, in my opinion, you can build a massive organization, a massive team, and be honest with you, you will never, ever, ever have to worry about money again. But those 5 skill sets of closing deals, right? Selling and closing, which is the first step, training people, equipping people, developing people, and running a business, in my opinion, those 5 skill sets will make you mega, mega, mega rich because you could take that information, take that skill set, take the juice, take the knowledge, and apply it to any industry in the world. So I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Hopefully you master these 5 skill sets. If you need help with mastering these 5 skill sets, DM on Instagram. I have some good juicy stuff for you. And we'll see you guys. Oh, by the way, if you haven't subscribed to that video, do me a favor, subscribe to the video, and we'll see you guys in the next video.